This is the NCAA Football 4-Team All-Time Programs Tournament. I am Charger 95, and we're joined by Phil Talk Sports as well. This is a 24-team single elimination tournament based on win percentage, conference titles, national championships, and many more factors. We have determined the top 24 schools. Most of the top of them are consensus. Who is the greatest program of all time? Well, we will begin to figure that out in the round of 24 today. From the Holiday Bowl in sun-soaked San Diego, Heisman Trophy winner Desmond Howard scores this touchdown, but that wasn't a takeaway from a dominant performance from the Ducks early on. Kenyon Barner scores, and Oregon at the half leads 20-7, led by the magnificent Marcus Mariota, who turned in a fine performance. 330 yards from scrimmage, and yet another touchdown here in the third quarter. This is Mariota. He finds his man, number 15, Keenan Howry. And the Ducks, midway through the third quarter, lead by a resounding 27-7. This game looked over. Yet Tyrone Wheatley begins this masterful Wolverines drive. That really was the only play of note for Tyrone Wheatley in the game. The comeback try would be guided all by Michigan All-Star Tom Brady. Finds Anthony Carter here to cut the Oregon lead to 10. Then the Ducks offense that fell apart in the fourth quarter of this football game. They're denied on a sack, and then Michigan quickly responds with a Brady to Ron Kramer touchdown as he slips tackles from, it seems, the whole Ducks defense, and Michigan is only down a field goal. Under 2 minutes to go in the game, Keenan Howry, who scored a touchdown earlier, drops this pass, jarred loose by Charles Woodson, and now the Wolverines have a chance to pull off an incredible upset. Quick flip to Tyrone Wheatley puts Michigan inside the 30. Then Tom Brady goes for it all, and on the end of it is Desmond Howard again, and the Wolverines mount a 20-point comeback, overwhelming the Ducks with nearly 200 yards in the fourth quarter. Oregon, who had just seen their huge lead evaporate, does guide an impressive drive as Mariota puts the Ducks inside the Michigan 40-yard line. Then the aforementioned 2012 consensus All-American Kenyon Barner puts the Ducks in the red zone. But on the final play of the game, Mariota is sacked, and Michigan avoids a huge upset to begin the tournament as they dispatch, led by Tom Brady, number 24, Oregon. Incredible performance. Oregon had 25 first downs to Michigan's 12, yet the Wolverines win it by 4. From the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, Tennessee, number 21 UCLA battles number 12 LSU. Two highly touted quarterbacks in their era meet here from Memphis, and it was all sunshine for Joe Burrow, throwing touchdowns throughout the game against that Bruins defense. That score put LSU up 10-0. Then Burrow finds Dwayne Bowe for a 66-yard beautiful score, and the Tigers lead at the half 17-0. And the onslaught would continue for Joe Burrow and the Tigers, who would knock off UCLA in resounding fashion, led by Burrow. The LSU offense gained 427 yards passing. UCLA had 63. This was no contest. LaFleur scores, and LSU would continue to rack up the points in the fourth quarter as that dropped pass officially ends the game. The Bruins were 1 of 12 on third down and outgained by nearly 400 yards. I mean, this was an absolute embarrassment for the Bruins, who are one and done in the NCAA tournaments. Number 12 LSU advances to the Sun Bowl next week to battle number 6 Texas, as Joe Burrow is the player of the week.
Penn State versus Texas A&M in the Military Bowl. Here we are, second quarter. Kerry Collins with a screen pass out to Larry Johnson. He gets a great block, and he gets down the sideline into the end zone untouched, putting Penn State up 10-7. Later in the second quarter, Johnny Manziel going deep as he's known to do, but this time he's picked off around the 15-yard line, giving the ball right back to Penn State. Not good news if you're an Aggie. On that next drive, Kerry Collins, play action to Larry Johnson, finds his man downfield right around midfield, breaks a tackle, make it another, down to 30 and almost the 20-yard line. Penn State would capitalize on a touchdown there, going up 10. Johnny Manziel trying to make it closer before halftime, connects with his man downfield, 45 yards to the house, making it only a 3-point deficit at halftime. Pretty similar stats and numbers here. A&M with a rushing advantage, otherwise pretty close here as we head into the third quarter. 26-17, Penn State is up. A little dump off to the running back. He breaks a tackle and makes it another down to the 40-yard line. Later in that drive, Manziel finds no one open. That's never a problem for him as he breaks contain out on the keeper and gets into the end zone, bringing that lead a little closer within reach for the Aggies later in the game. 26-24. They can really shut the door on him here. Penn State deep downfield, 15 yards. Dion Butler going up 33-24. Manziel with only 2 minutes left. Can he make magic happen? It's not to happen today as Penn State intercepts him for the second time today, and Penn State would go on to win this one. 33-24 is your final score. Kerry Collins with a near perfect performance today. 400 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Larry Johnson, no slouch either. Over 100 yards total offense and that touchdown. We've got a rainy one here at the Music City Bowl. Bulldogs versus Huskies. Starting this one off, a screen pass down to Herschel Walker. He picked up the first down. Aaron Murray for the Bulldogs going deep to A.J. Green. Almost gets in the end zone, dragged down around the 8-yard line. On the very next play, Aaron Murray dumps it off to Herschel Walker. Gets one good block. That's all he needs. He's in the end zone putting the Bulldogs up with that play. Champ Bailey, one of the greatest corners of all time in college when you think of SEC cornerbacks, as you see here, showing off the skills, stepping in front of the receiver right before he goes out of bounds, getting the interception. Big play there for the Bulldogs. You expect nothing less from the future Bronco great. Herschel Walker then takes it into the end zone from 5 yards out, his second one of the day, first on the ground. Later in the game, another interception by this Bulldog defense. They've been swarming the ball all game. It's been paying off. Aaron Murray hands it off yet again to Herschel Walker. Breaks a couple tackles, takes this guy on a ride down to the 5-yard line. Backup gets in there, punches it in, 4 yards for Frank there. Bulldogs going up 21-3. Right at the end of the third quarter here, the Huskies still trying to make it a game. Over the middle, getting into the end zone is Paul Scazzi, 27-yard touchdown, helping the Huskies hang around. Aaron Murray trying to go deep, does not have enough time, sacked for 8 yards there. Later in the drive, still trying to make this a game. Touchdown Reggie Williams, it's 21-16. Herschel Walker trying to run this clock out for his Bulldogs, breaking a few tackles. Knocked out of bounds eventually. Aaron Murray going across the middle, makes the catch, staying in bounds. That's very important. Aaron Murray now across his body. They tell you not to do that, but I guess when it's A.J. Green, you can get away with it there. As he cuts across the middle yet again, breaks a couple tackles, and is tackled in bounds. Terrence Edwards would get the first down needed to run out the clock. In a rainy day here, Herschel Walker gets 2 touchdowns, and the Bulldogs advance, taking down the Huskies 24-16.
So the Georgia Bulldogs add to the list of teams advancing to the Sweet 16. Their opponent is number 5 USC in the Rose Bowl. Number 15 Florida, number 18 Wisconsin. Tebow of the Gators got off to an exceptional start. He finds Percy Harvin here, who clearly is out of bounds. The officials ruled incomplete. Then they reversed the call to a catch inside the Wisconsin 15. The Gators take advantage with a go-ahead touchdown run from Emmitt Smith. Gators lead at the half 10-6, but a theme was developing in this game. It's the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. Wisconsin at this point had over 7 yards time possession more than Florida, and that would pay dividends in the second half. Jamar Fletcher, the 2-time All-American and the all-time leading interceptor, with 21 picks in Badger history, doesn't take one back, he takes 2 ill-advised Tim Tebow passes back for Badger touchdowns. This would blow the game open, and Florida would crumble to the tune of 4 Tebow interceptions and a 27-10 Wisconsin win. Despite Florida having won 3 national championships as a program, Fletcher knocks them out as the Gators are one and done. The Badgers outscored the Gators 24-0 in the final 17 minutes of this game. Wisconsin will play Notre Dame next week in the Poinsettia Bowl.
We got an ACC clash here in the New Orleans Bowl. Seminoles and Yellow Jackets. Georgia Tech with the ball first. Inside give, crossing midfield near the 40-yard line. Georgia Tech, well-timed pitch. That's what the triple option's all about. Getting in the end zone first. And now here's a play that I want you guys to take a good look at. Charlie Ward looking downfield for Fred Biletnikoff, one of the best receivers of all time. Gets separated from the football on a big hit, and it's intercepted by Georgia Tech. Here's another look at it. As you see, goes for Biletnikoff, gets separated from the football, and the linebacker scoops it up. Is that a fumble? Was that an interception? Did it hit the ground first? Hard to tell. On the next play here, faking the pitch, getting into the end zone. Georgia Tech starting to run away with it. Here they are on their next drive right before halftime, getting in the end zone, this time on a pass, 24-3. Who saw this coming? Charlie Ward looking deep over the middle, getting the ball down to midfield. Charlie Ward still trying to keep his Noles in this game, going deep down the field in the third quarter, intercepted out of the back of the end zone by the Georgia Tech defense. Second time today, still trying to keep his team in it on the next drive. Takes off down the right side. He can use his legs. He's got plenty of speed. He's trying to get out of bounds here, and he fumbles the ball. It is recovered by Georgia Tech right before it went out of bounds. And folks, that's going to do it. And what's got to be an upset here, Georgia Tech comes into New Orleans and stuns Florida State 24-6. Charlie Ward, not his best day. 2 interceptions in that fumble that you just saw. Georgia Tech advances. Volunteers and Spartans down in Tampa Bay for the Outback Bowl. Peyton Manning down the sideline to Majors. He gets absolutely blasted on the sideline but holds onto the ball. Check out this one. Peyton Manning with the read option. He's got blockers in front. One block is all he needs. Peyton Manning turning on the Jets. Gets in the end zone. 34-yard touchdown. Coincidentally, that ties his longest professional rushing yards as well. 34 yards down the sideline here. Look at this. They definitely couldn't have seen this coming. Peyton Manning getting in the end zone, putting the Volunteers up 7-3. He said, I did it once. Why not do it twice? He gets in this time from 3 yards out. Peyton Manning feeling it with his legs here, putting the Volunteers up 14-3. Later in the third quarter, play action. You got to watch the run at this point. He going deep down the field, just sneaks it in there. Robert Meacham, 39 yards to the house, 21-3. The Volunteers are not done yet, or are they? Michigan State stops the bleeding here with that pass that gets thrown out there, intercepted. Connor Cook and the Spartans still trying to make something happen. Dumps it off here to the running back, it looks like. Kurt Gibson, 13-yard reception. Connor Cook here over the middle, touchdown, trying to stop the bleeding here, making it 21-11 with only 2:30 left. A run up the middle by Tennessee getting the first down, and they're feeling it. They know they're 1 first down away from icing this game. Peyton Manning looking right, fires right, completes the pass, takes the hit, but holds on, and that's all they need to run out the clock. Sparty's not happy about it, but Tennessee takes this one 21-11 behind the legs of Peyton Manning. Who thought you'd ever hear that? They advance past the Spartans here. 2 touchdowns for Peyton Manning total.
We will see if Tennessee's Peyton Manning has the same sort of rushing success against quarterback Baker Mayfield next week in the Sweet 16. It's the Volunteers who battle number 4, Oklahoma. From the Belk Bowl in Charlotte, number 16 Clemson takes on number 17 Auburn, and the winner of this game advances to the Sweet 16 to battle the Crimson Tide. Auburn would overwhelm Clemson defensively in the first half. In fact, the Tigers for the game averaged over 6 yards per run, courtesy largely of Bo Jackson, and even Cam Newton, who scores the first of 3 Tigers rushing touchdowns. Clemson rarely saw the ball in the first half and did next to nothing with it, outgained 155-34 at this point early in the second quarter. Newton, however, would sustain a strained quadricep here and would be forced to leave for the remainder of the game against Clemson. Cadillac Williams, his backup running back, is out for the remainder of the tournament with a quadricep injury too. 17-0 Auburn, but that injury momentum is what the Tigers would need to call back into the game. Lawrence finds Sammy Watkins for a 60-yard touchdown, and midway through the third quarter, Clemson is within a field goal. Bo Jackson was a bit fatigued in this third quarter, so without Cam Newton, this is Jason Campbell, the future Redskins signal caller, who scores a touchdown pass to Brent Fullwood. Many people don't know just how good this guy was. Brent Fullwood ranked second in the history of the Southeastern Conference in rushing yards per carry. That is also 15th in the history of college football with over 7 yards a run. Meanwhile, Lawrence, he isn't running the ball. He's finding Artavis Scotts. Clemson was within a field goal after they convert a 2-pointer. Then Campbell, who certainly is no Newton running the ball, but does convert here, then continues the drive with a first down pass to Sanders, who would be on the receiving end of this second down throw. And Sanders pulls Auburn back up 2 scores. Clemson must respond yet again, but they are denied on 4th and 3. And just for kicks, There's that Brent Fullwood guy, the All-American in the 80s, who scores yet again. And Auburn knocks off Clemson and will battle their bitter rival in the Sweet 16. That's Alabama that's coming up next for Auburn. They gained just under 500 yards of total offense and an incredible performance and a win in the Belk Bowl over Clemson. We'll see you next week.